Hello there, everybody. Um, in this video, I'm going to show you guys a very simple and short Xcode iOS slash Swift project that I did a couple weeks ago, just as like a pre-work for a iOS course. And so this is Xcode, so I'm on my MacBook right now. But essentially, what we have here is when you open up a new project, you have your main storyboard, what's called the view controller, and then a bunch of different files that kind of don't mean too much for our context right now, or what we're looking at right now. But like designing products for iOS is actually really interesting because here you have like actually what you see, and it's a little bit different than kind of coding normal software, if you will. And I lost it. Where did my iPhone go? There it is. Because you can kind of drag and drop things onto the screen, like so. You can make a slider and you can set values and all that. And so essentially what we have here is we have my app, the way it looks. And as you can see, I have a text box. I have a little kind of what they call a text label, but basically just text that I have written, and then a text box for user input. And I've got 3 buttons. And so the way that this is all coded to work is actually done in the view controller. So for each one of these screens that you have a view. So because I only have one screen, and it's the launch screen really, my view controller doesn't really need to be renamed or anything, but all the code for that screen is right here, coded in Swift. However, let's say I have multiple view controllers, so if I go ahead and I add a new view, oops, hold on, view controller, so let's say I go ahead and add a new screen, if you will, that's another way to look at it. I can have as many screens, so if you can imagine like an app like Twitter, you've got your home page, and then you've got like you've got your little bottom panel that lets you say, okay, I want to go to the Explore page, I want to go to the Notifications tab, my profile page, whatever. And then essentially you have a different view, one of these, for each one of those pages. So this is a very simple app, as you can see, because we literally have one view. So if I go ahead and I run this, it's my first time running it in like a week, so it'll take a second. But basically it'll kind of put it on an iPhone for us to kind of play with. So we'll just let it do that. And so basically, what we do here is I have a preset list of sayings that when the change text content is clicked, it'll go to, and here we go, it's just launched the simulator, so we can actually play around with it here. Looks like it's still trying to load in the app properly. My MacBook is not exactly the fastest, and here we are. Okay, so it's loaded the app. And so what we have here is we have changed text color, and I set this to random, so it'll just pick a random RGB value. Same thing with change background color. So these are just little buttons that do that. And then we have changed text content. So I have a few like random sayings I just made up in like 10 seconds when I was doing this. However, if the user clicks here, the keyboard comes up, and they can type something. So I could say, "Bye from Alan," and I can go and press change text content, and now that's what it'll say. So as you guys can see, this is a very simple app, very simple. And my Mac is overheating like crazy right now because I'm trying to screen record and use the simulator. But if I go to the kind of the back end of it, if you will, right here I have a little function where I an extension on the UI color module in Swift, where I go ahead and I return a random color using random CG float, and these different objects are kind of tied to the code here through these little dots. These are like connections. So the way to kind of get something from here to there is to go press right here and open up the view controller, and then kind of control drag, and then that's how you create like an outlet or like an action. However, we don't actually want to do that right now, so I'll just close out of that because it's already done. But here, as we can see, the change background color, we just go ahead and we pick a random color with our UI extension or our extension on our UI color. It's the same idea for the change text color, and then for the change text content, we have if our text field is basically not empty, we will make what the user typed our text. Otherwise, we will let the text be a random element from our sayings, which we can obviously change. And also, I forgot to mention, if I go back, let me run it one more time because it seems to have disappeared on me. When if I click on the background screen, like basically somewhere without the buttons or the text field or anything like that, it'll kind of reset everything. So if I just go ahead and I mess everything up and change it all, boom, 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 and I just kind of click like maybe here, it'll reset it. So that's kind of what that last function down here does. I say tap reset, and so I have a tap. If you'll notice here, I have what's called a, oh my gosh, why is it doing this? Tap gesture, or I renamed it to be reset recognizer, but this is called a tap gesture recognizer. And so when the screen is tapped, it recognizes that, and then that's what is tied to this function right here. And we'll reset the text label back to hello. We'll reset the color back to black, and we'll reset the background color back to my original background color. And so that is basically this app. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and have a great day.